What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a bunch of new yellow Digimon cards that we need to be taking a little bit of a look at. We are racing towards the release of New Hero. There are a whole bunch of exciting things coming, so let's have a chat about a bunch of yellow cards. And our translation here do come from the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming, as well as the lovely folks over at DigimonCard.dev. There's many things to get excited about, so why don't we start off here with Candlemon. Now, Candlemon, we got a free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. Absolutely standard for a Digimon with a decent skill. And it does have a decent skill. On your turn, once per turn, when you play another purple Digimon, gain 1 memory. Now, the wording here is a little bit weird, of course, because it says another purple Digimon. And Candlemon isn't a purple Digimon. But this is very, very, very obviously intended to be played as part of a yellow-purple hybrid deck. I mean, if you look at it, sure, it's a 0 cost to Digivolve, but it can actually Digivolve from a yellow or a purple Digitama, which is clearly a very, very good thing indeed. This is a bonus. And it's nice. And if you've got 4 of these out and you play a purple Digimon, gain 4 memory. That's pretty good. The thing is, how often is this really going to fire? Because firstly, you've got to have your yellow Candlemon and you've got to Digivolve from it. And then you've also got to remember that you're in a position where you've actually got to be playing purple Digimon. Not Digivolving, playing. And if you're playing a yellow-purple hybrid deck, you're going to be playing a bunch of yellow Digimon at times. So I'm not saying this is bad, but I am saying that it is specific. Putting simply, if you're playing a yellow-purple hybrid deck and you're playing enough Digimon, it's great. Absolutely great. If you're playing a purple deck, probably not going to work, because you still need to Digivolve this into something to get the inheritable skill. But if you are playing a yellow-purple hybrid deck, this is great. Absolutely great. Because it's no more expensive than anything else. It's nice and cheap as you would expect. But then you're also going to be able to get extra memory as you go. And even if you get one of these out and it fires, I don't know, twice throughout the game, you've still Digivolved for free and gained 2 memory throughout the course of the game. And that's a pretty big advantage. And when you add in that you might play a whole bunch more purple Digimon than that, and you might have multiple Candlemon out, no, it's not for every deck, and no, it's not always going to work at absolute peak efficiency. But even if it doesn't, this is still going to be a pretty gosh darn good skill. And this is something that, like I said, in yellow and purple hybrid decks only, this is pretty cool. Speaking of a yellow Digimon that's a yellow Digimon but it's kind of pretending otherwise, we've got Angliamon here. Now this is a yellow Digimon, but it can Digivolve from either yellow or blue. And it got a 4 cost to play, 2 cost to Digivolve, 4,000 power. Absolutely standard for a level 4 Digimon. And what we've got here is a static skill. While you have a blue Digimon in play, reduce the cost of playing this card from your hand by 1. So now all of a sudden, it's not a 4 cost to play normally, it is a 3 cost to play normally. And you know what? Yeah. Now, it's not the only 3 cost to play normally level for yellow Digimon. We had Repamon way back in BT1 that was 3 cost to play, 2 cost to Digivolve, 4,000 power. So essentially, if you've got a blue Digimon in play, this just becomes Repamon. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but we don't need Repamon, we've got Repamon. Good news is Angliamon also has an inheritable skill, although to be clear, Angliamon being able to Digivolve from a blue or yellow does give it a whole bunch extra utility that we love. When you are attacking, if you have a blue Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon loses 3,000 power for the turn. And your average level 3, your average rookie, is going to have 2,000 or 3,000 power. Some will have more, occasionally they'll have less, but generally speaking, you're looking at 3,000 or 4,000 power. So you know what? Yeah. Yeah, this sounds absolutely fine by me, ladies and gentlemen. This sounds absolutely fine by me. Once again, it is a card which is only going to exist in hybrid decks. If you're not playing, I keep saying hybrid. Hybrid is definitely the wrong word, because hybrid is an actual term that means something in the Digimon TCG. I really need to stop using the phrase hybrid. You have my apologies, I keep doing so. But if you're playing a blue and yellow deck, if you're playing that dual color deck, this is phenomenal. It is a free cost to play level 4, which is cheap. And then every time you attack, when you've Digivolved from it, you are going to be deleting a rookie. I cannot be the only one that thinks this is a really nice pair of skills and something you should be getting pretty gosh darned excited about. But if you wanted some new mechanic, if you were looking for more of a Jogress Evolution, DNA Digivolution kind of thing, might I introduce you to Shakamon here? And this is another one which is worth getting a bit excited about. Now here we have a proper dual colour Digimon. It is an actual yellow and blue dual colour, and it can Digivolve from yellow or blue. 8 cost to play, 4 cost to Digivolve, 8,000 power. It's more than the 737 we generally see, but it can Jogress Evolve, so don't worry your pretty little head about it. And in terms of this Jogress Evolution, it is a level 4 yellow plus a level 4 blue. And I am of the opinion, and certainly what we're seeing coming out of Japan results-wise is backing this up, that Jogress Evolution is nuts. Jogress Evolution gives a huge, phenomenal advantage. Because remember, there are certain rules with Jogress Evolution or DNA Digivolution which just seem unfair. Like when you Digivolve up unsuspended and able to attack. So I can attack with a level 4, attack with another level 4, Jogress Evolve, attack again. Oh look, 3 attacks with 2 Digimon. That's a little bit cheating. So even if all I had was Jogress Evolution here, I'd be pretty happy. But it's so much more than that. Because when you are Digivolving, if you have 5 or fewer security cards, recover 1 from your deck. And look, you start with 5 security cards. So that means unless you have added on, so you've got more than you started with, you're going to recover here. Incidentally, that means you just can't kind of chain these, because otherwise you start with 5, you recover, go up to 6, and then you could do it again and go up to 7, and that would be silly. It just stops you going particularly nuts. It's not really a thing that's stopping you here. It's just stopping you going nuts. It's not like the Patamon that only has recovery if you've got 1 or fewer security cards. That is one that is really stopping you doing very much. This is just stopping you having like a full-on broken thing going on, which I think is absolutely fair. So yeah, cool. So DNA Digivolution is great. Recovery, if you've got 5 or fewer security cards, is great. Oh yeah, and when you're DNA Digivolving, you return 1 of your opponent's Digimon with a level equal to or less than the number of security cards you have remaining to its owner's hand. Well, if you've got 5 security cards, you Jogress Evolve and go up to 6, and then you get to take a level 6 and put it into your opponent's hand. Like, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely full-on, silly, ridiculous. And I am in for it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, the fact that the DNA Digivolves is great. The fact that you recover is great. And the fact that you get to return 1 of your opponent's Digimon and it could be up to a level 6 is ridiculous. And to be fair, there is a situation here where you've actually got 7 security cards and you don't get to recover with Shakamon here, but you do still get to put a level 7 back in their hand. That's nuts. Oh yeah, and it's got the same inheritable skill that we saw on Angliamon here. When you are attacking, 1 of your opponent's Digimon loses 3,000 power for the turn. I should say that Angliamon, you've got to have a blue Digimon in play. Shakamon, you don't. But then again, it is a blue Digimon, so you definitely wouldn't need to. My point is, if you go Angliamon into a level 6 and then attack, that is minus 3,000 power to 1 of your opponent's Digimon twice, and that's a little bit ridiculous. This is a phenomenal card. Like an absolutely proper job over the top phenomenal card. This seems to be, like, if you're playing some kind of blue-yellow hybrid deck, this seems nuts. And honestly, this gives me a reason to play a blue-yellow hybrid deck. The fact that it's got Jogress, the fact that it's got Recovery, the fact that I'm returning one of my opponent's Digimon to their hand, the fact that I'm then lowering power, it's all just adding up to absolute ridiculousness here. But we can finish off with one last card, and it is Justice Beam. A free cost option card. One of your opponent's Digimon loses 3,000 power for the turn. If you have any Digimon in play with 2 or more colours, or any Digimon with a card that has 2 or more colours in its Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon loses 6,000 power for the turn instead. Now look, this is a minus 6,000 power. Because there is no way you're playing this if you're not planning on having dual-colour Digimon running around. It's just not happening. If you're not playing a 2-colour deck, you're not playing this card. So, it's a free cost that lowers by 6,000, which is quite nice. It does just work as a security card, but really, if you're playing Shakamon and Angliamon and all of them here, and we know that yellow loves lowering power, this is just one more way to lower power and go a bit nuts. I do think Shakamon is a star of this video, but I think there's a lot to like here. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.